Great. So here we are. Finally, the day has come. Yeah, guys. So obviously, thank you for anyone tuning in. I just wanted to give you a brief introduction, even though he probably doesn't need any introduction already. If you're already in the e-commerce side and you're already creating UGC, with me today I have Daniel, who's the CEO of Insense, and we just want to be able to hear more of his story up until now and everything that he's, I guess, achieved up until today, and also speak a little bit more about what the future holds essentially. So. Hey Daniel, how's it going? Hope you're well. We literally just jumped on right now. Just yeah, how are you? How's it? How's everything going? How's your week been?
Uh, Pretty busy, and thanks so much, Seb, for having me. So super glad that we uh get to the record the podcast and jam about UGC and creators. But yeah, the week is it's nice. It's a kind of weird weather here in New York City. We experienced a couple of heat waves, but right now it's not a heat wave, though like it's rainy and it's hot and it's just weird. But all good, all good. Happy
Yeah,
to be here.
pretty similar to London. So like we last week we hit like 30 degrees and then now it's just raining again. But I think New York City is pretty like similar to London in terms of like the weather sides of things. From what I've
Uh,
heard. I've never been to New York, so I'd love to go. But yeah, cool, awesome.
a bit more sunny. A bit more sunny.
In New York, yeah, I can imagine because it's obviously
Yeah,
more like yeah, yeah,
yeah,
which is good, isn't a bad thing. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, cool. I mean, Daniel, let's just get straight into it. Just tell us a little bit about your background and how you came, I guess, to start Insense. That's what everyone's here to kind of just learn more about. And so, yeah, just the background of Insense, your background, how you got into the actual like markets and the niche and everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, we started Insense because of my brother, who is a co-founder of Insense. He ran a couple of e-commerce shops, successfully exited both, and then because he was so successful in paid advertising, especially Facebook ads,
Yeah.
some of the folks asked him, "Can you help us with this part of our business?" He founded his own social media boutique agency and kind of running the ads with that. And back in the days, he figured out that influencer content, UGC, when it wasn't even the name for that. I mean, UGC was forever because it's user generated content, but in UGC, in the terms that we
We
know
now.
about that right now, it was different. So he figured out that type of the content is going to be outperform any type of the content down the road. And it was 10 years ago when
Oh,
influencer marketing and paid advertising was like were separate worlds, right?
yeah.
People were not talking to each other. The objectives were different. So he started building his own roster of creators using Google spreadsheets and messengers like Skype. You know, like if you know what Skype is, but
Yeah, yeah. I used to use
yeah,
it.
and right. And then he was communicating with all of his creators and his team, and it wasn't really efficient, and deadlines were missing. It wasn't clear how to set up the whole system, how to bring and vet creators to his own roster. So he came up with an idea of building Insense, like a
Yeah.
platform that can help other entrepreneurs to reach out to all these creators and for creators to make money. So for that, we actually came to New York City, where I live right now, and just test the waters and talking to the potential creators and clients. And we figure out that there is a lot of potential. So I left my corporate job. It was a pretty successful corporate career, though. Like when my brother pitched me, he still says that it's the best sales of his life, pitching this idea to me and convinced me to join him. But yeah, we started building Insense as a marketplace where we're going to be connecting primarily e-commerce marketers with UGC creators and micro influencers. And when it wasn't that popular, and I remember the times where we pitched this idea to Facebook in 2017-ish. And the guy, like the partnership manager, he's one of the best, but he was saying that, look, I love the idea. I think this is cool. We don't have specialty for this. So I cannot bait you as a partner because we don't have criteria for that. Like we don't know like where we stand in terms of using influencer content for ads. You know, um, it was kind of like a weird time, but then here we are. Right now, we're one of the preferred partners of Meta. and
Yeah.
not longer Facebook, Meta, as well as TikTok. And we're building the products. We co-creating the content together with all of these companies. We're getting customers from both companies. So yeah, it's fascinating to see how the whole UGC and creator game has changed.
Yeah. Well, so in terms of like what you just said, it seems like you guys started it and it was pretty much a little bit ahead of its time. Has the vision of what you guys were wanting to create, has it evolved like a lot, or is it kind of like maintained the same in terms of what you guys were kind of planning?
It's great question. I think like essential idea hasn't been changed a lot.
Yeah.
It's how to bring the better content for ads and get the conversions and supporting creators. I guess like the whole like these three narratives, they are remaining the same. Though when we started, definitely the understanding of the market and the way how we're going to be building that was different.
Yeah.
So I think the vision right now for the company is how to merge organic and paid strategies
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
in
yeah.
creator marketing for e-commerce, as simple as it is. Because right now, what we learned that it's not longer the game only for paid ads, and it's not
Yeah.
only for
Okay.
getting
Yeah,
the
for new
getting UGC for ads. It's not longer the game of organic when
Yeah.
you partner up with influencers and they're going to be sharing about your product and getting the commissions, either like TikTok Shop or just using any affiliate links, right? So it's the game of a combination of both. It's organic plus paid. And I
Yeah.
guess this is something that it's clear for us that it finally works and it's going to be like that for years. It's
Yeah.
organic plus paid. So that's why like
Mhm.
it's definitely evolving in terms of the vision, but the essential parts are remaining the same.
Yeah. I 100% agree with everything they're saying, and this comes off of the I guess the way that the market is moving as well with the organic and paid side, even for our clients and the e-commerce side. So cool. I mean, just moving on to the more of like the UGC side for the paid ads then. So user generated content has become, I guess, like a cornerstone for effective paid ads and brand growth. So in your experience, what would you say makes UGC so powerful for brands? And what is it? What do you think is the thing that clicks with the UGC side?
Yeah, I guess the moment where we saw that UGC became the thing, it was 2020, 2021, right? COVID, post COVID times, right? And here's the few reasons when we reflected on that. One of the reasons is new platforms, right? TikTok stepping into the game has changed like the entire game, like of the way what kind of the content we're consuming and
Yeah.
how we're consuming this content. So it was all about video first, mobile first, and just more engageable, more humanized content. So it's not longer about just video. It's more about a person uh, doing some weird stuff or dancing or lip
Yeah.
singing or whatever, right? And in that way, you need to be in the context of the person who is consuming this content. Imagine like you are scrolling the feed and you're seeing that my friends are jumping to the pool, doing some funny stuff. And then I see super professional content that Toyota is running in the mountains. It's kind of like this is the type of the content that I would expect to see in TV commercials, but not something
Yeah.
that I'm going to be expecting to see in my iPhone, right? Uh, that's why I think TikTok has accelerated a lot about the way what kind of the content that we need to see, and then like all other social platforms they copy paste TikTok in many
Yeah.
ways. So right now this is the world that we're living in, and the content. That's number one. The second one, I guess TikTok, sorry, COVID accelerated a lot of things in the world, because you cannot produce content professionally in production studios that is going to be live that is going to be die in 3 days. So on TikTok ads, sometimes you're running the ads and then it's going to be dying, the old performance is going to be dying within 3 days.
Yeah.
It's too costly. So right now there is a power of creators who are able to produce this content way cheaper.
Hmm.
And moreover, a lot of creators, they switch their 9 to 5 to become a full-time creators. And we have heard hundreds of stories because of Insense and because of other platforms or because of whatever. But
Yeah.
people change their life becoming full-time creators. So right now there is a demand and supply, whereas the demand, like I need to produce a lot of content cheaper,
Yeah.
and I need people who are able to do that. So this is the second trend that we have seen that impacted on the UGC. And the third one is as simple as it is. I guess UGC it's definitely not the only format that you need to use in your marketing mix. Static images
Yeah.
crushing there. So it's not longer the game of only one format. You need to experiment. But UGC is working perfectly on TOEFL, especially,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's the way how you can explain of your product. And then for the closing that you might consider different formats. But in terms of the top of the funnel, it's definitely one of the best, maybe the best way how to explain about your products and gain some interest and tell the story. And we love hearing the stories, right? So
Yeah.
that's why it's so powerful.
Yeah, 100%. So you seem so well versed on the paid ad side, or I guess you have to be to a certain extent because that's what you're kind of doing, what you're
Yeah.
creating your business for essentially. So yeah, from on our side, we have deep understanding that UGC from a top of funnel level does amazing, and then from a bottom of funnel level, static images kind of do the whole like pushing over the edge type of
Yep.
thing.
Yep.
But yeah, cool, awesome. It's good to kind of know that you know all of these things. So let's go a little bit deeper into more of like the actual UGC side and I guess, the way that your creators are creating the content. Like, what would you say are some key elements that make UGC particularly successful? Like, if I was a creator or if I was a an agency owner, for example, what would I be looking at in terms of making the perfect or a great piece of UGC content?
Yeah, look, it was a big topic last year
Yeah.
on D2C Twitter. Uh, UGC is that, right? And I know the person who were maybe started that, but at least like push this hard. It's my great friend Nick Shackelford,
Yeah.
structured agency and Breeze, right? He's our investor. He's a great friend, but he was kind of like a pushing this UGC that is that. But I guess the message that he was trying to raise and like the conversation that he was trying to raise that is not longer the game of only UGC, because so many e-commerce brand they fell there. They started using like hiring any UGC creators and any produce any UGC and running the ads when they have only UGC in their creative library. This is the wrong approach. That's number one. And secondly, UGC also is evolved in the direction where you need to build a strong hooks and call to actions, uh, and it should be scripted. Even though a lot of folks they're saying that UGC shouldn't be like scripted at all because this is the authentic way how
Yeah.
to say. No, to be honest, like hooks and CTAs are the most important parts of UGC. And the reason why it should be scripted because many of UGC creators and influencers, they are not professional marketers. It's your role, it's your job to pitch the person what to say and how to hook
Yeah.
uh, your customers and to stay them and to continue hearing this story. And then what is the offer and how to tell about this offer. So
Yeah.
that's why I think UGC is also evolved in terms of the hook and CTA should be scripted, though like the body of the video where we're going to be saying about the story, about the problem, about
Yeah.
my solution, before and after. That's where you need to provide a lot of flexibility, and that's actually what drives our authentic way of UGC. So answer your question, I guess what it makes UGC so powerful is that this authenticity, that
Yeah.
people are sharing their personal stories, they what was the problem and how I resolved this problem, all right, and how my life has changed. Though like the first and the last parts should be scripted by professional marketers, because in that case, in the end of the day, we want to see the performance coming from these ads. Unfortunately, a lot of folks in 2022 they're starting doing like this UGC and throwing a lot of money,
Yeah.
but haven't seen a lot of performance and saying like, oh, UGC doesn't work for me. Well, your approach
Yeah.
was not the right one.
Yep, and it's the same thing goes for any type of marketing. If you're not doing it the correct way, you're obviously going to say that doesn't really work. So, yeah, and this is all gold mine to like. So whoever's listening, hopefully we get a bunch of listeners that are actually like tuning in and listening. And I think the one thing that I would probably add to that, just based on the experience that I have, is you kind of need to know from a business side of business side, where your consumers are in the five stages of awareness for marketing, because
Yeah.
that's what we have. We use that to kind of write the scripts for our brands and our clients. And that's a big thing for us. So yeah, so I don't know if you're able to in terms of just being able to like because I guess you've worked with some like great big brands and stuff like that that come to you to get to make UGC. Are you able to share like a case study or just an example of a brand that has successfully leveraged UGC through Insense itself? Or
To be honest, so many, and we're trying to do our best when we're sharing something that is publicly available when the
yeah,
clients actually approving the
yeah,
results. So you can go like to our website and just browsing the case studies. But one of the case that we have built with Thrasio, it's a big Amazon aggregator. It still resonates me a lot before the new year of 2023. So it's been like, what is it, like a year and a half ago. But I remember they came to us and they were saying that, hey, would like to step into TikTok ads game more and
mhm,
more. Um, but we want to make it scalable. So how to execute this in the right direction. So we just pitch them, showcasing some of the examples, and then they were able to find over 200 pieces of the content UGC
wow,
created within the first 4 weeks by one person to manage the platform. And then they were testing a lot of this UGC. They repurposed that, and they have seen a lot of success, especially when they spark these
right,
ads. So,
okay,
and it was this short term that I was surprised to see. Even like myself, I'm the founder of the company, right? Still, I was surprised to see that this scale was possible for one person to get 200 plus pieces of the content within the 4 weeks that would spark ads connections and then seeing the performance there. So it's not particularly about the UGC creation itself, but I was surprised about the scale that you can get on the platform. That's one of the example.
yeah, that's crazy. Okay, cool. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, okay, cool. I just am trying to understand because yeah, perfect. All right, cool. So in terms of Insense as a company then, or what you're doing right now, you mentioned we were having a discussion, obviously, like well, a call and a conversation last week. What would you say are any like or what innovations in UGC do you see shaping the future of digital marketing? Like, is there like maybe a different kind of way that UGC is heading towards? Obviously, right now it's more of like the organic side of things. Is there anything that you're seeing that maybe other people aren't seeing that is kind of happening at the moment?
Yeah, one of the things is I cannot call that it's so innovative, but many people are not aware that UGC it's not only for ads.
Yeah.
Um, there are shoppable videos that you can place on your website that could drive the conversions on the moment of purchase, right? Companies like VideoWise or Livecom. So there are like some companies in the space, and you need to create this UGC for to be able to convert that. You can grab this, you can capture some of these UGCs or from the people who share that, but sometimes it's better to produce this content because people are going to be more professional talking about your product. So one of the things is again like it's not innovation as innovation, right? Because it's
Yeah.
been for a few years in the space, but many people they are not aware that you just see it's not only for ads. That's a simple start, right? We have seen some of the brands they starting using UGC videos also for emails and for SMS marketing.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
In SMS marketing, so what you can build, you mentioned that influencer can talk about your product and offer some special offering. And to be able to get this offering, you need to leave uh, your phone number. All right. And then you can run this SMS campaign where this influencer can create another UGC, and you're going to be distributing that in SMS with the video that is almost like you seeing your influencers that you are following, that I left my phone number because of I'm following this, I'm trusting this person, and I'm seeing like in my mobile phone, I'm seeing like in iPhone, this person is talking to me
Yeah, 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 yeah.
about some special offer with that. So that's another way how you can leverage UGC. It haven't happened like so often, to be honest. It's
Yeah,
only some uh, typically influencer backed brands are using that heavily. A
yeah.
lot of success, like a lot. But in terms of the like where UGC is also evolving, uh, it's interesting that TikTok Shop, um, if you are not familiar with TikTok Shop, why it's so massive and why it's becoming one of the best destinations out there, it's because of this is the first time where the companies crack the code by combining affiliate marketing, influencer marketing, and paid social all together. And when TikTok Shop was early days, let's say even a year ago, it was all about organic. So finding influencers, they're going to be posting something and you're going to get a lot of organic traffic. So right now it's changing. So right now it's the game of organic plus paid. And
Mhm.
what we have seen, the best marketers in the space, agencies and brands on Insense, they trying to find influencers less with the focus on organic performance and more with the UGC skills to spark the codes
Right.
and
Okay.
running the ads with that. So this is also interesting that they finding influencers, they're going to be posting organically. They're not going to be saying no to these organic sales and more like they would expect some of the organic sales. Though like the bigger bet that they're putting is the ads. And for ads, you need to find those influencers who have UGC skills.
Yes.
And
Okay.
in that case, like the whole magic is happening there. So I was surprised to hear that because I also was living in the world that TikTok Shop should be primarily about organic affiliates and so on. So like, no, it should be about both.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
when I heard that from one of the top agencies in the space, our friends 0 to 1, who are leveraging Insense like heavily about this strategy, I was like, wow. Again, like you cracked the code how to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
get the most from UGC and TikTok Shop.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. And just going back a little bit to like just what you were saying before, what would you, in terms of the services, I guess that the Insense kind of has, are there any particular, I guess, like parts of your service that maybe agencies or your consumers aren't really taking advantage of right now that you would want for like you're like maybe more of you guys should be using this part of Insense? Because I guess right now it's kind of more of just like the usual like kind of UGC with the creator type of thing. What would you, is there like other parts of the business that you think people should be taking more advantage of?
Absolutely. And I just jump off from the call prior to record the pod with you with our client. It's the agency. They focus on primarily on TikTok Shop, and I was showcasing some of the parts of the our platform that they were not aware. And this
Yes.
is not the question to them. This is the question to us, like how to promote a lot of great features on the
Mhm.
platform to make sure that at the right moment you're going to be aware. One of the things that we're currently driving is whitelisted campaigns. So whitelisting have been around for years. More or like we were one of the two companies who actually started the whole concept back in the days like in 2016 2017. So
Yeah.
my brother actually figured out like the if we're going to be running not only influencer content but influencer handle in ads, it might be
Yes.
something interesting. So I remember myself, I was calling to creators and saying that, hey guys, like you need to press the button there and how to connect that to our ads manager. Right now, it's all fully automated. It's platform compliant. It's FTC compliant with the official APIs by Meta or TikTok. But whitelisted campaigns, I guess this is the one of the most powerful ways how to feed more information to Meta. So the way how I explain whitelisted ads is that it's a one more multiple on your efforts when you're dealing with the creators. The heavy lifting part is happening when you're creating the content. So you create the content, you ship the product, you negotiate the price points, you negotiate the content, you have a couple of reviews of this content. So content have been delivered. Great,
Yeah.
awesome. So pay to the creators. This is the heavy lifting part. And then I'm grabbing this content and running the ads with my brand handle. This is the
Yeah, yeah,
typical way how you can leverage our platform and just overall UGC ads. Though like it's no brainer to hit the button of whitelisted connection and ask for the permissions from the creator to share the capability and running the ads with the influencer handle.
yeah,
Imagine same content, same audience, more like they're going to be running in the same ad campaign, but it's going to be coming from brand handle and from the influencer handle. And
yeah,
sometimes influencer handle can outperform brand handle by twice. Sometimes just 20% uplift. Sometimes
yeah,
it's performing worse than brand handle. So, but it doesn't matter. What it matters that you are multiple all your efforts when you're dealing with the creators by twice, because it's one more multiple brand handle and influencer handle, as simple as it is. And right now we are living in the world of media buying, where we need to feed more information to Meta, and Meta will decide what is actually works and what is
yeah,
not. And they're going to be controlling, because I remember like the times 10 years ago when you need to sit in Ads Manager and correct every single step there and
yeah,
just almost 24/7, right? It's not longer the game. Meta knows a lot of stuff. Yes, there are some mistakes that could happen by Meta. Meta failed us in the first half of this year, but still, right? Meta knows a lot of stuff. What they need is more signals that we're sending there. So whitelisted ads, it's one more strong signal to send back to Meta. So in that case, Meta can decide like whether it makes sense to push more at budgets towards the same content, but influencer handle or brand handle, again, one more multiple. So this is something that we want to see that have been used more often on our platform. And this is the hidden gem because, again, it's something that is included into the platform. So you can go ahead and leverage that right away.
amazing. So yeah, I guess it comes down to like the power of the personal brand side of things in terms of like being able to use those career handles, which is amazing. Yeah. So yeah, just we need to start using those, I think, for our side.
Yeah.
So for example, so for e-commerce businesses that are looking, I guess, to dive into the UGC world for the first time ever, what would you give them? What would you say are some practical steps that they should be taking to like kind of get into the UGC world and start creating content? Because I guess there's a lot of brands out there that aren't at that stage yet.
Yeah. First of all, do not start with the platforms like Insense. This is the advice number one. If you are new to UGC and new to the market, like you have new brand and you are not that experienced marketer, so it's not the second brand or like third brand after the exit, right? You are not yet experienced in that space. Do not start with the platforms, because some of these platforms you need to figure out how it works. You need to establish the content. Some of the platforms they have subscription like Insense. Why do you need to pay this money and waste this time not getting the best outcome that you can get? These platforms are tailored primarily for scalability. So what I would do, as simple as it is, starting recording founder story, your story. Like, why are you creating this content? Why are you creating this brand, sorry, and this product? So you can record yourself. This is UGC. You as a founder, most probably you're going to be using this product and you can tell the story. So founder content is one of the best one. And you know, like what it costs for you, it's only your time. Simple, right?
Mhm.
That's number one, the simplest way. The second simple way to test that UGC is finding those creators on Twitter or like somewhere. You can just type in UGC creators. You can do like tweet and saying like I'm looking for UGC creators in that niche, right? And then seeing some of the people are going to be replying to you. The problem is that it's they're not vetted. You have no idea whether it's fake creators, it's good creators. You need to sign
Yeah.
the agreements with the copyrights, but you can deal with that. It's going to be enough for you to create the first 5 to 10 pieces of the content just to learn how it works and running the ads with that. So once you see that the cash starting flowing and the concept of UGC to make sense for you, then you can go to the platforms and explore like how to scale that. Or you can find agency who can also offer this solution, because this is we love working with agencies. I found that the best marketers, most probably they are sitting in the agencies, because they constantly educated themselves of what's going on, like what should be changed and so on. So either you can go like with the agency who are focused on media buying and they have the creative arm, or you can start in exploring the platform. So like this is the two paths after you testing yourself, like with the founder story and finding the creators on whatever, like Twitter or creator marketplace of TikTok, yeah, whenever.
Oh.
Something cheap, something free.
Yeah, something that doesn't hurt your pocket, basically. And then
Yeah, exactly.
scalability side, awesome, perfect, sounds good. Cool. So just a few more questions in terms of the actual like incense and business side, and then we'll get into a few like more fun questions. What would you say has been some of the biggest challenges you faced in growing incense, or and what have you kind of learned from them throughout the 10 years, the decade that you've had up until now?
Yeah, just to remind me, Seb, are we gonna have like 10 hours of podcast, because I can talk about my challenges for 10 hours in a row.
My storage on Google Drive doesn't have enough to know, is there?
Right.
No, no worry.
No,
No, go ahead. What would you say is like the biggest one?
I think like the challenge that we haven't faced, we haven't realized together with my brother when we launched Insense, is that we chose to build a marketplace.
Right.
It because with the idea that, oh, we know that someone need content and someone need working with the creators, and there are people who are able to produce the content and they
Yeah.
are creators. Let's match them. So simple, right? It's like almost demand and supply to meet each other on a marketplace, have a deal, and everyone is going to be happy. Well, building marketplace, I think that this is one of the most difficult businesses in the world and products, because it's chicken and egg problem. It's you're building two businesses under the roof of one, and you
Yeah.
need to understand what is the ideal customer profile for your client side, for your creator side. You need to understand that is it e-commerce, is it enterprise, is it like more niche, only beauty, where to start. So that was a lot of problem, and we thought that, yeah, we're going to be building this and then we're going to be acquired by XYZ in 3 years and living the best life. Well, here we go, like it's eight year of building Insense.
Yeah.
Finally we get to the point that thousands of transactions flying per month. So, and people are getting millions, I mean, creators getting millions from their work, and they're grateful to Insense that has been life-changing experience for them. That's what they literally saying, life-changing experience,
Crazy.
because they finally quit the 9 to 5 where they were bored of working in the office,
Yeah.
and starting doing like what they actually love and making money out of this. But like that was the biggest challenge, I guess. We haven't realized that building a marketplace, it's really hard. I guess it's beneficial for us right now because so many other folks, they build influencer database with some um, outreach capabilities, but they don't have vetted creators. They don't have any lever on creators. They don't have any lever of the brands, to be honest. So it's more like a software that's so easy to copy paste, and more like they underappreciated by
Yeah.
majors like TikTok and Meta. So we have built different. The quality stands. This is the number one. And I guess we get there, but that was like one of the biggest challenge for us to figure out like where to start and how to start.
That's crazy. Okay, and on that note, as a successful entrepreneur, and obviously the story that you just shared right now, where you're having thousands of people just getting like, thousand transactions and everything. As a successful entrepreneur, what advice, I guess, would you give to others looking to innovate in the marketing technology space?
To innovate, it's a good question. Um, always start with the confirming the problem from the potential customer base. So I guess this is the number one. Yes, innovation always comes from the idea, right?
Yeah.
That it could be possible. An idea is important, but the idea is it costs literally $0, like zero.
Yeah.
The execution of this idea cost billions or at least millions, right? So I guess what value the execution and the cost of this execution is that if there is a problem that it's repeatable from the customers who are willing to pay for that in the large enough market, as simple as it is. So that's why the all innovations should be starting within understanding and talking to your customers, not living in your dreams and seeing like, yeah, this is the great idea. And the idea might be great, but the problem is that if it's not applicable for the problems of your segment of customers,
Hmm.
it's worthless. And
Yes.
that's actually happening with us because we assume that let's go early days of Insense, let's go to L'Oreal of the world, like enterprise,
Yeah.
pitch them because they need content and they have a lot of budgets to spend. Well, we pitch to them. It take like years, not months, years to win them. We won like Puma, we won Lavazza, we won like some of the bigger brands out there. But it took years to sign up the contracts to get the first campaigns. And in the
Great.
end of the day, all of these businesses, they're less interested in the product, they're more interested in service. They don't want to deal with technology. They want to have
Right.
someone to call and pitch and saying like, deliver that, here's my money, right? Which was opposite to what we were building. It's product and the tech. So that's
Yeah.
why trying to realize that not only where the money lies on, but also who is going to be willing to use you as the technology and not as the service. So once we found e-commerce, so I'm so grateful for e-commerce. I love e-commerce. It's hard, but it's interesting.
Yeah, it is hard. Yeah, yeah. Daniel, you've been sharing some great gems on here. I'm even like being like just yeah. I'm in awe in terms of what you're currently saying right now. So let's do some like quick rapid fire round questions because we're nearing towards the end now. What would you say is your favorite social media platform up until now? What do you use the most?
LinkedIn.
Okay, LinkedIn.
I absolutely love LinkedIn.
Is it just more because of a professional CEO type of side or yeah?
Yeah, exactly. It's professional stuff. I'm following the people that I'm big fan of. Like Shaq, he's always like dropping some gems there and like saying like some stuff. Twitter sometimes it's not enough for me to consume the information. It's more about exchanging the opinions. LinkedIn, it's literally you can hear a lot of stories in a nice way from the people that I want to get to know better,
Yeah, yeah.
and that I just love it.
Cool. Awesome. What is the most creative UGC campaign you've seen up until now?
The most creative you just see. Oh my
Something that
gosh,
you saw and you was like, this is crazy.
um uh, it wasn't like with us, unfortunately, because I guess some of the bigger creative agency had hands on that. But I
Yeah.
saw the campaign on TikTok where the telling this story of almost like filming the movie by different creators. So creator are starting one of the thing, and then they introduce another creators in natural way in the story, and it
Yeah.
was in their accounts to continue the story, and like and so on, so on, so on. So it's almost like a filming the movie, and I guess 20 creators or so were participating
Wow.
there, and it was like kind of it so makes sense to follow all of these stories because you intrigued. It's almost claw finger, like in the end of the one of the creator story, and then
Yeah.
you kind of like have to go and watch another one
Yeah.
and another one until the end. That was the most creative way how they um yeah they just made fascinating work there.
Do you remember what brand it was?
Um that is a good question. That was the brand that I didn't know and I don't know because I guess that was the campaign in France. So that's
Okay.
why it was
Right.
some local brand there. But I was just fascinating of the idea of that,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that was cool.
Cool. What does a day in the life of the CEO of Insense look like? Usually, like in a nutshell, let's just be like, you get up, work.
Yeah.
How did it kind of go?
I'm not sure like if I'm doing this right, but so far it works. I have a lot of calls. Typically Mondays are for my team, and I'm just like focusing only on my team. So one-to-ones with my team, talking about the team and resolving that. But then the rest of the days, it's when I have a lot of client-facing calls. So I'm just jumping on the call with the person who was using Insense, and it seems like no problem. But I want to hear more about like what's up, like how I can help you if anything is missing there, or like sales calls or partnership calls. So that's why, yeah, many calls, primarily distributed between strategic partners like TikTok, Meta, Snap, all our partners, as well as the tech partners and agency partners. So companies like Triple Whale, Fairmont, we're discussing like what we can
Right.
do more. Podcasts. I'm recently became very much active of delivering some of the thoughts and participating in the podcasts. And in the evenings, I'm wearing a different hat, which is product manager, and sometimes working on some features or committing some of the features because I'm overseeing the whole thing just to make sure that we are going into the right direction.
Nice. Okay, awesome. Yeah. It's always kind of good to hear what like other CEOs are kind of doing and what their day in and out days are type of thing. Cool. So
Yeah.
getting towards the end now. I know you've been talking, you're probably a little bit this little bit tired now, and this went on longer than I thought it was going to be, but I'm just super intrigued. Any final tips or words of wisdom for our listeners, I guess, that are trying or wanting to get into leveraging UGC in their marketing strategies?
Yeah, I guess there is no silver bullet. As simple as it is, many folks out there they hearing that I know Obvi guys or another brand share this strategy. Let's go and copy paste the entire strategy, and it's going to be working for you. Well,
Yeah.
it won't. As simple as it is, because every brand, every team is different, every market is different. So you need to find your own formula, what actually works for you. And UGC is also not silver bullet. So having only UGC in your creative library won't save and won't bring you a lot of money. You need to mix that with the statics. You need to mix that with DPAs if it's applicable for your business. You need to do like different angles and finding like your own formula. And even within UGC, so UGC could be testimonial, product demo, uh,
Yes.
unboxing. It could be different, right? So that's why there is no silver bullet. Test and learn. This is the best approach. And whenever like it works or not, do not think that I spent this money for creators. It didn't bring me ROI. Well, try to see the different angle. What you actually learn from that.
Hmm.
Maybe the market is different. Maybe the creators are not applicable for a business. They are not that authentic to your brand. So there are like different ways, but again, like no silver bullet and constant test and learn.
Yep. No plug and play around here.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. And then lastly, where can our listeners or everyone that's watching find out more about Incense and I guess connect with you?
Yeah, so Insense, we are trying to share a lot of thoughts and providing a lot of free materials like ebooks, e-guides, case studies on our website, which is Insense.pro. So you can take a look there, and as well as like our socials. So you can find that on Twitter or LinkedIn. Um, Myself, you can find me, as I mentioned, LinkedIn. I am trying to be really active there. So it's my name, Danil, Danil, and my last name, Saliukov, Saliukov, and Twitter. So I'm also trying to be more active on Twitter.